I told her not to humiliate me. Not in public, not after everything we survived together, not after the nights I held her while she cried about being overlooked, dismissed, invisible. But she laughed, quiet, dismissive, like I was a joke in my own life. So when they called her name at the gala, when the spotlight burned us both, when she handed my award to the man she'd been sleeping with, I didn't rage, I didn't speak, I didn't even blink. I simply got up and walked out. And that's when her phone rang, her boss. A broken voice. The board just called. Your nomination. God, what have you done? She didn't know yet, but she was about to learn. We weren't always like this. I met her when we both had nothing. She was the girl who dreamed with both hands stretched toward the sky. I admired that. I built everything I am around the idea of us. Every win I chased for two. But somewhere along the line, she decided she deserved more than me. Not more with me, more instead of me. The first time I noticed her pulling away was small. Delayed replies, late nights working, a sudden interest in someone else's achievements. I told myself to trust her. That's what love was. Trust. I was a fool. There's a silence to betrayal. It doesn't scream. It settles, like dust over everything familiar. It was her laugh that gave them away. Not the content, the tone. Light, carefree, intimate. She had never laughed like that with me. Not in years. I found the messages after, not because I went looking, but because she got careless. Her text previews lit up my phone when mine was dead, and she offered hers like an absent-minded gesture. His name, his words, her replies. I didn't confront her. Confrontation is for equals. We were past that. I let the grief pass through me like weather. I didn't hold it. I didn't drown. I simply began working. I am not impulsive. She always hated that about me. Where she lunges, I calculate. Where she speaks, I observe. It started with access. Quiet, legal, untraceable. She had been nominated for a promotion that hinged on reputation, public perception, and committee favor. The same committee that was nominating me for the award. Our careers were tied together, but the strings were knotted in ways she never bothered to learn. While she drifted into someone else's arms, I tightened every rope she didn't notice. I gathered screenshots, dates, company policies, conflict of interest contracts she'd forgotten she signed, financial statements that made her affair look like corporate bribery. I hired no one. I needed no one. The truth was enough. It always is. But truth, on its own, is passive. I needed timing. So I waited for the gala, the night when image meant everything, the night where appearances were gospel, the night where one misstep could ruin years. That night, I warned her, don't humiliate me. She thought I was begging. Let her think it. The ballroom shimmered with gold light, glasses clinked, cameras flashed. We walked in together, and from the outside, we looked perfect. I could feel her tension under my hand. She knew I knew. She just didn't know how much I knew. When they began the awards, the speeches droned in practiced praise. I waited for the moment that was meant to be mine, the one I earned, the one she thought she could rewrite. They called her to the stage instead of me. She didn't hesitate. She took the microphone, smiled like a politician, and said the words that sealed her fate. I want to give this to the person who truly inspired this work. Then she called his name. The crowd gasped. I stood up. I didn't shout. I didn't protest. I simply walked out of the room as if I had somewhere more important to be. And I did. Because the board had already received the evidence packet I sent that morning. All they needed was the spectacle. And she gave it to them. Beautifully, publicly, irrevocably. Her phone rang as I reached the lobby. She chased after me, heels trembling, eyes too wide. Wait, please, just... Then the call connected. Her boss's voice cut through the air like a blade. The board just called. The committee saw the footage. Your nomination is being revoked. And the promotion, God, what have you done? She sank to the floor right there, designer dress pooled like spilled silk. The lover she threw her life onto wouldn't even look at her. His reputation was now collateral damage. He couldn't afford to know her anymore. He walked away first. Poetic. She asked me if I planned it. So small, so fragile. I told her the truth. No, I just stopped protecting you. There's a difference between striking back and simply removing the shield someone never deserved. My career remains intact. My award is being awarded privately by the board with apology. Her life, her job, her reputation, gone. Not because I destroyed her, but because she destroyed herself, and I simply let everyone see.